Wins to the West Coast, Fitzroy and St Kilda, but concern for the Saints with full forward Tony Lockett lasting just half a game because of a hamstring injury. Those details shortly, but first the grand final replay at Waverley Park, where the Eagles turned the tables on Hawthorn. The visitors trailed at half-time by 14 points but stormed back. Sumich kicked 5 while Dunstall led the way for the Hawks with 6. Jim Wilson reports.
It's the first time since the grand final that these two teams have clashed. John Platten was making his 150th appearance for the Hawks as Chris Mew came in for attention from Carl Langdon. Hawthorn was by far the more committed and Dunstall wasted no time getting into the action. His first goal made him the Hawks' highest scoring full forward, passing the great Peter Hudson's mark. By quarter time, the Premier's spearhead had 3 to his name and Hawthorn enjoyed a 24-point lead. But the Eagles showed more fight in the second term. Sumich kicked 2 and the gap was closing. Dunstall snapped his 4th and the Hawks looked to be gaining the ascendancy again. Matera, though, kept West Coast in touch and they trailed by just 8 points at the long break. The intensity lifted in the third term as Darren Jarman flew high and pulled down the mark of the day. But the Eagles turned it around with Lewis working wonders and then Wilson putting the visitors in front for the first time in the game. Controversy early in the final quarter with Sumich kicking a goal but Hawthorn disputing it hit the post. It seemed to give the Eagles the edge and minutes later Turley rammed home the advantage. A comprehensive display from last year's runners-up, Hart making certain of the result.
What a brilliant kick.
Jim Wilson, National 9 News.
With 9 of the last 12 goals for the game, Fitzroy stunned co-tenants Carlton to post a desperate 19-point win at Princes Park. Knowing their finals hopes were hanging in the balance, the Lions bounced back after 2 thrashings to again open up the race for September. Harvey Silver with the highlights.
It was left to youngster Rowan Welsh to provide early inspiration for the Blues at Princes Park. Jim Wind replied and the Lions led by a point.
He kicks the goal to put the Lions in front.
Before Welsh flashed in again.
Welsh caving down. Welsh over the back.
When Craig Bradley was felled, the Blues answered in the best way possible.
Kicking from about 40 metres, and he kicks the goal.
That gave Carlton a 15-point break, but goals by Cormack and Roos late in the term got the Roys to within a kick at half-time.
The centre-half back is on the goal-scoring list.
In the third, 3 quick goals by the Blues, capped off by Gleeson, again gave them a 15-point break.
Fantastic hand pass to Gleeson.
But just as quickly the Roys replied. Roos booted their 4th in 5 minutes. The Lions by 8 points going into the last quarter, and then they slipped into overdrive. This miraculous goal by Seacamp, 1 of 4 booted by the Roys as they ran out winners by 19 points. Harvey Silver, National 9 News.
St Kilda was never threatened by Richmond at the MCG despite losing Tony Lockett at half-time. The Saints kicked 8 goals to the Tigers 2 in the third quarter to set up a 49-point win. Stuart Lowe finished with 8, while Lockett in one half booted 7. It took the Tigers only a minute to open the score, Waitman handballing to Smith. But the Lockett show dominated the first term, with his teammates delivering the ball to perfection. The fourth, an absolute beauty. Lowe had to wait until the early minutes of the second quarter for his first touch, but successive majors gave the Saints a 4-goal lead. Richmond lacked a good forward, Waitman trickling one through, while Lockett's brute strength gave him 7 goals to half-time. But a leg injury forced him to take no further action in the game. Lowe filled his spot, kicking 4 goals in a brilliant quarter. In fact, the Saints booted 8 to set up an unbeatable lead. The Tigers had battled to score all day. The last 30 minutes belonged to them, though. Naish had plenty of steam left, while Francis also showed plenty of courage. Lowe kicked his 8th just before the siren to give the big man his highest ever personal tally. Afterwards, St Kilda conceded it was a precautionary measure bringing Tony Lockett from the ground. The Saints spearhead not in the mood for any media attention. To the ladder, and Footscray is on top from Geelong, while St Kilda have consolidated their position in the top 3. The Eagles are now 5th, while Carlton remain in the 6th despite their loss today. Hawthorn have dropped to 8th. On the goal kickers table, Dunstall is just 9 short of his century. Lockett kicked 7 before half-time, while Longmire has moved to 44.